Welcome on in, everybody. This is the G4 Unite Series Losers Finals. We have a match that I am absolutely looking forward to seeing. Now, there's a chance I've seen this before, but it's totally not fresh at the time that I record this. I was doing commentary on the day of the G4 tourney with the content cowboy himself, Spraggles. I was on his stream, ladies and gentlemen. As we hear that ready go, please keep in mind I am Dr. Kendo, and I'm here to bring you Pokemon Unite esports style commentary. Feel free to subscribe if that's your thing. We have some of my favorite players, like seriously my top two. I mean, when you think about Lutano, when you think about Archriu, but these two teams are amazing. I mean, of course, Gaimin Gladiators, right over there on the orange. That's Toon, obviously, in the central area, as that Cinderace. But Nemesis, this is a team that has been so fun to watch. Everybody, I think, really likes to keep their eyes on Yeetfan, for example, but we also have Rex right there playing as the Tree. Oh yeah, this is a friend of mine, Tree. Please tell me, you guys, I think I was the first one. It was on the day of the release. I was calling it Tree. Please tell me I coined that from Thor and Groot and all that in the Unite community. Anyway, just a team here when you look at Nemesis, that purple squad, with Pokemon that haven't seen a lot of airtime maybe in past tournaments and things, and so now we're just happy to see that happening. Trainer LGC trying to hit Lutano a few times right now, who is actually going to go for the Citrus. We'll get that, of course, because the tackle. And notice Lutano, obviously, certainly not in the Lucario jail right now, playing as the Squirtle at the moment, but Blastoise. This is just what we came to see, of course, is just see some things that haven't had prevalence, like I mentioned in a lot of the tourneys of the past. And so right now, Toon actually going to be caught up. Very nice evasion right there through the wall as that Raboot, because when you've got Archriu, but any kind of Greedent there in your face, it's a little bit of an uphill battle if they're closing the distance on you. And Archriu, obviously not a player to sneeze at. I mean, you really do want to be careful, of course. Especially, we're still in the early part, you know, only about a minute 30 has elapsed. Rex seeing a lot of trouble here on the bottom lane, but is going to actually get away with his life. Seemingly still at half health too, so that's fine. This is actually looking a little bit less dire maybe than I thought it was. Yeetfan still picking away here. We need to get that evolution pretty soon. The sooner that we got that Decidueye on the field, you know, the sooner we're going to be able to stop some of these GG, these Gaimin Gladiators who are the Goliaths. But these Juggernauts, I know that in this G4 tourney, it was a little bit of a rough, I guess, patch as a whole for them. Zugrug right now going to tank a lot of these hits, going to actually go really possibly the opposite direction of where you thought he would, but will ultimately lose his life. Looking to maybe score right there and just get some of that immunity to some hits for a while the rest of the teammates figure it out. But certainly that was not the end result, as we just saw Toon now picking away at Archriu, who will slide away just barely with her life. This has been, honestly, a lot of kind of crucial KOs and impressive, really, this early on in the match. Now, notice, of course, when we mention how early on it is, you don't often see, like, higher point values scored in super easily. I mean, Toon's trying to lock in this 30, which would be pretty high, but Nemesis, as a whole, having 73, this is pretty good, and it's to that 28 of Gaimin Gladiators. Archriu really trying to put up a fight, but she is just by herself having to deal with this. That's going to be Toon dropping in that 30, which will be the evolution, and then Archriu is going to belch, pull out that KO. Very nice. This is critical again when you're this early on, and we shouldn't even be talking about it like it's super early now, just because as we've been speaking about it and the pacing of Unite, look at Lutano gonna actually score that in. I mean, even if it was 2, it's like you were really on that like 1 or 2 HP left and then going to fall. That at least bought just a little bit of time to figure it out. I mean, any sort of brain space you can give yourself, it can be advantageous, but look at this now. Rex throwing down the hammer, which I call Mordecai, ladies and gentlemen. So knocking Mordecai down on the head of Zugrug, who will be able to tank those hits, and now is going to be backed up. Of course, we have Goof playing as that Hoopa. You notice that we've got Greninja coming in. There's the Unite, trying to push some people back. Trainer LGC going for it. Zug is going to actually be able to sing. That's not only going to help keep Greninja off, you know, if Greninja gets too close to you, you're going to sing them to sleep, but you also get that speed advantage. Notice that while this was all going on, of course, Yeetfan going to get the final hit on that Dreadnaw, and he is going to be that Decidueye. We can confirm evolution, all that, but we've gotten some critical KOs once again. Nemesis really came to play, I would say. I mean, you're going up against a team that largely has been really, really good, obviously, in the Unite scene, oftentimes considered in that top 3 or 5. And so for Nemesis, they're sort of handling GG, and they make it look good with that somewhat unconventional lineup. I mean, hell, we've even got Greninja back in here. It's not that Greninja was not viable or something. It's just, I think we were, for the longest time in the tourney scene especially, we were seeing the Unite lineups. They were possibly getting stale. You know, it was usually like a mirror matchup. A lot of people using just the same Pokemon altogether. So like we say, this is good. This is what we want to see. Lutano, we can't confirm. Of course, the Water Spout Rapid Spin. We'll go ahead and try to Rapid Spin on out of here, though, because you're seeing there's just so much pressure, even on this top path now. All the pressure started on the bottom path. We do have Rotom in play. It's just neither team really going to go for that just yet. And you don't want to, although Toon is going to actually take down. This was nice, just kind of in that last sneaky KO there in the tall grass while having the chips stacked against him, I would say, and there it is. There's that proof. I was gonna say, though, earlier, you didn't want to go to the Rotom until this is all handled, and so now it's for Nemesis, I would say, whereas at first it was sort of looking like maybe it would be a contest or maybe go for GG. Lutano's gonna actually back to base right here. Took a lot of damage, so I guess it makes sense, of course. You're not really looking to overextend, especially when we got Yeet Fan right now. He's gonna Spirit Shackle up, ready to maybe either get the final hit on Rotom or see if anybody's coming to make this a contest, and no, that's gonna be a no. So Rotom now going for that purple squad. Yeet Fan charging it up. You're seeing he keeps just kind of putting it away and then charging it up, and then there's the ambush. They were hiding out in the tall grass. GG, and so they will go ahead and secure that. That's one thing about that Decidueye. We've seen Yeet Fan with some incredible Decidueye plays. These Spirit Shackles out of nowhere, and really as of late, at the time of this recording, this is all in mid-April. Toon Slim just barely gonna avoid death, at least for the time being. Gonna throw down the Blazing Bicycle kick. Still kind of looking to be in a little bit of trouble. They're sending him back, though, putting the pressure on. Nemesis actually going to confirm and take out Zugrug. And then you got the Berry Belly Flop from Artreyu. That could spell the end for Toon. Yes, it will. The Belch going through the wall, and then you got the Hydro Typhoon from Lutano. That Rotom just barely, it's hanging on. It's trying to do that damage along with the other members of Nemesis right now. And can they kind of push this in? No, they're actually just going to fall short. And then Nemesis, they'll go ahead and pick up that Dread. This is looking really good, actually, if you're that purple squad. I mean, the score, it's not drastic, but for this stage of the match, it could be. Just when you look at high level of competition, high level play, oftentimes if you're like within 100, that's a little bit more common, but to be usually something over 100, and especially if it's well over 100, but in this case, we're looking at 215 to 76 as the score, and now just about to enter into that 345. That's kind of significant, and when it's these two teams, especially, like I have to say, high level play. But there's Yeet Fan. That's actually going to be Toon, just making quick work of that Decidueye. That's what I wanted to talk about before, but this is how it goes with especially solo commentary on a Unite match. So much can happen at any moment. I mean, look at this, just unfolding this team fight. The rings unbound, they were right there, right near the legendary pit, and you gotta hope that you have enough time for that to hit cooldown by the time Zapdos is gonna be in play. Goof, the rest of them, they're gonna go ahead, hang on at this bottom path on that goal, and then they're gonna wait for Goof to no longer be that unbound Hoopa, and just like that, look, 39 points in to that now shows us that we have a match literally within that 1 point of a difference. I mean, just within about 30 seconds here in this Unite matchup, we've changed things dramatically. Maybe we'll finally get to our original point about Decidueye, is just that the obvious is that it's squishy, right? So you've got that glass cannon sort of way of being as Decidueye, and in this match it's really been evident that, like, props to GG, of course, for doing it. The Gaimin Gladiators were hiding out. They were looking for their opportunities to ambush. If you're afforded the opportunity to do that, or if you're skilled enough to find ways to do that while, of course, staving off the rest of the squad, that's a wonderful thing to go up against this Decidueye, especially one like Yeet Fan that's really good. I mean, look at this. He's just gonna snipe the wild Pokemon, like, right out of their hands. He did, right? So we got that Spirit Shackle, but really, we may not be looking at third Dread unless they were just gonna burst that down so fast. I mean, you would really have to be a team with all 5 of your people, probably, and then not really have it be a team fight, right? You would have to focus all resources on that, and then make it up there in time for the Zap fight if that's gonna be in play. So yeah, it looks like they're not even gonna take the 11 or 12 seconds that it would be for that last Dread. It's much more advantageous to do this, which is they're gonna be focusing in on the teams, but look at what's going on. Gaimin Gladiators, they've got Toon, really been a breakout star in this matchup. I mean, Toon looking to score in, and he will, because that's the final stretch as well, so all point values doubled. That looks really good for Toon Slim right now. Gonna drop in the 41, which doubles to 82, and Zapdos is obviously in play, so he might actually go to strike that, especially if GG doesn't need him for the rest of the fight, because they've already taken down Hoopa. The rings are unbound, so Goof is gonna throw that down. It looks like Zap taking a bit of damage, but now the fight getting a little bit closer to that Zapdos, and so we have to see, you know, which of these teams, it really could go either direction, although GG has really done a good job as that middle to late game transition has happened. I mean, look at what's happened to the score, look at what's happening to all the players. We're mostly staying on par in levels, although Toon at level 15 is just a monster, and so if you've got Toon still on the field, I mean, as GG, you're pretty happy, right? But Lutano looking to be in a lot of danger, gonna rapid spin this, and that's really gonna shift it. I mean, that was not looking good at first, and Lutano, to his credit, able to turn this around, so the reversal has been a little bit painful for Nemesis. And Gaimin Gladiators, they've been doing work. This is why they are one of the top teams, if not the, for NA. They're showing you that when the chips are down and when you lose objectives, it's like they still come back, they still find a way. That's the key phrase, right? They find a way. Are you not entertained? Zugrug is actually gonna go down. You do want a little bit of your meat and muscle right now, in case there is like a Zap fight or something, just any of those team fights, you want Zug to tank some of those, but at least Lutano does have a little bit of meat on him as well, being that Blastoise. Toon just is a monster. This is what you've got to do if you're going up against Gaimin Gladiator, just like that. Trainer LGC, very nice. If you're going up against them, I've always said, like, the one thing you can do if you're just struggling and don't know what to do, although Nemesis will go ahead and grab that Zapdos. Is this going to be a last-second play? Is this going to be a victory in the last 20 seconds? Nemesis, if you do this is just disgusting. Nemesis, how did you? Both teams just turning this on each other over and over again. It's just like that. You have got to be upset if you're Gaimin Gladiators, because that's going to be a hundo right there. Zug is trying to score in this 80. He will. I really don't think that's going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. Zugrug was in there trying. It was not without trying. Gaimin Gladiators. I was trying to say, if you need a strategy and you can't figure it out, you have to pick off Gaimin Gladiators one by one instead of trying to best them in a team fight. But if there's a team to do this, Nemesis might be that team. I mean, they have just shown us how deadly they are. This will be a flip on the spectator mode. That's the only thing I was told to expect by our viewer friend who recorded this. Thank you for this amazing matchup of 579 for Nemesis to 488 for Gaimin Gladiators. Toon, you're wearing the crown for a reason. Man, you were just broken with that 208, but unfortunately not enough after Nemesis got that Zapdos. What an intense match, ladies and gentlemen. Please look at the data on screen and then feel free to click an end screen on screen, catch another matchup, and of course, I'll see you guys over there. Thanks for viewing.